Welcome to the Daily Dish with New York Times bestselling author Leanne Ely. Putting vibrancy back into your everyday life and feeding your heart, mind, body, and soul. Join us every day at 1 p.m. Eastern for Motivational Monday, Tuesday's Tip, Wise Woman's Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, Food Fight Friday, and of course Q&A, where no question is off limits, and Soulful Saturday. Here is your host, Leanne Ely, and the Daily Dish.
Hey y'all, welcome to Thursday. It is Thirsty Thursday. How thirsty are you, right? We're going to talk about that today. I'm enjoying my hot melt mix, breaking my fast. Super cold. I usually don't have it this cold, but hey, I'll take it, right? It tastes so good. Anyway, welcome. I see Catherine, Yvonne, Noreen, Jackie, all in the house. Good to see you all. Lynn and Doris, thanks for joining today. And Thursday is Thursday. Today we've been doing this whole what if thing this week because I love how what if makes you start to think about possibilities. And every single day I want you to think about the possibilities that are in your life. Right, Angie? Right, Jocelyn? There you are. Good to see you. Thanks so much for showing up. Yes, we are putting vibrancy back into your heart, mind, body, and soul because we recognize that we're not just a jean size or a color of our lipstick. There's a whole lot more to us than we've been previously told. This whole diet culture has just become a thing. And I believe it's really driven us to the place of addiction. So I want you to know, Vicky's back, day 2. I'm so glad you're here, Vicky. Good to see you. Christine, Joanne, Fawn, Carol. Wonderful to see you all. So good. Isn't it so good? Isn't it good to get together and see all your gal pals hanging out and all the lovelies? I like that. Makes me happy. Anyway, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we've got going on, and we're going to get to the business at hand, of course. But you know, this is where we start to move the needles. We start to put new thoughts into our heads that make us think perhaps there are other possibilities for my life that I'm just not looking at. Elizabeth, it's really good to see you. Trisha and Helen, I always call you out when I see you. Thank you for being here. Anyone I missed, my apologies. But we're glad you're here. We're super glad you're here because this is the way that, again, we move that needle in our lives. And it's not just about what you see on the scale. It's about the quality of your life. That's why we talk about putting vibrancy back because it's everything. Right, Suzanne? Here she is. And Catherine's here just greeting everybody. I love Catherine. She's just always, always got a cheerful thing to say to everyone. Love that. So anyway, quote of the week is really a good one because, again, back to that thinking thing, life becomes easier when you learn to accept an apology you never got. And I don't know about you, but there's some apologies that never came my way. How about you? I bet you anything you're in the same boat, right? Oh, well. We let it go because we've done everything on our part, and then we get to disconnect from the whole thing and just have radical acceptance and say, it's just the way it is. That's the way she is. That's her choice. My choice is to let it go. There's such freedom in that. I can't tell you. Freedom. Absolutely. Speaking of that, one of the things that we love to do, and you hear me talk about it all the time, is setting up your environment for success. The new quote decks will do the trick. Oh boy, that's showing up weird, isn't it? Anyway, our quote decks are lovely and they're beautiful. And it says, if you notice the back, living life in full bloom. And these are the colors that we're having this year for our full bloom conference, which is happening on Saturday, April 24th. I love this. Pearls don't lie on the seashore. If you want one, you dive for it. Right? Watch your heads. I'm watching your heads explode. Let me get another one. How about this one? Your body can stand almost anything. It's your mind you have to convince. Or how about this one? Old keys won't open new doors. Yeah, all this stuff, this just lights us up. And I don't know about you, but being lit up is my preferred state. When I'm lit up, the possibilities are endless. When I'm happy, when I'm into all the things, everything is good. That's why I want you at Full Bloom. Full Bloom's happening on Saturday, April 24th. It's a full deal. You're going to get the recording afterwards. You're going to get an amazing swag bag, and you're going to be with women who are going to lift you up. This is the rising tide, my friends. SavingDinner.com/bloom to go grab your ticket and to make sure that you can get all the details on it, because we never disappoint on those swag bags, and you'll get something in the mail and a virtual swag bag as well. Everything highly usable, not a bunch of dumb tchotchkes that you can't use, because we're not about that at all, ever. You can find the quote decks at savingdinner.com/quote. Hi, Martha. Hi, Lucy. Hi, Vanessa. Good to see you. I'm so glad you're here. You can also find Digestzymes, which are our supplement of the week. You can find those at savingdinner.com/show. Listen, if your digestion isn't on point, you're not getting the nutrition you need, and you could be in the place of feeling like you just have no energy, no nothing, and you're sick all the time to your stomach, bloated, all of that. It's time to get rid of that. I want you to go read all about Digestzymes, will you? savingdinner.com/show. They've changed my life. They changed my life. When I first learned about them, I was blown away. And especially for people with heartburn and all this other kind of stuff, game changer, game changer. Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Susan. Good to see you. Incredible stuff. So read all about it. And also, when you order our supplement of the week, you will get an ebook filled with all kinds of delicious salads. I don't know about you, but I've been really concentrating on getting one humongous salad in a day. My big bowl of green, that's what I've been calling it, big bowl of green. And Mark calls it the bowl of weeds because I have arugula and the pea shoots and everything. And it does. It looks like something I went and clipped out of my garden. But the more I eat it, the better I feel. So it's really great stuff. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Carla. Good to see you. I'm so glad you're here. Our mugs are back in stock. Look at that. And you know what we started doing? We have started numbering them. So this is the first edition of the new collection that we just started. Every time the collection's gone, it's gone. It's limited edition. So if you want one, go to savingdinner.com/mug. You have 3 different ways to get them. And you'll have a whole post explaining what a mindful mug is about. Isn't it so beautiful? Catherine loves it. But this underscores your amazingness. That's what it does. And you need to find the one in the graphic. Isn't that fun? It's like, where's Waldo? Anyway, go to savingdinner.com/mug to find it, and we will take really good care of you on that. Guess what's going on tomorrow? We have Q&A, of course. Who's going to be there for Q&A? I love Q&A because the questions are always super interesting. So if you've got one, you can send it in. Today's the last day to send them in, by the way. On Thursday, we stopped taking questions Thursday afternoon. So get it in right now to support@savingdinner.com. Question for Leanne on Friday, right there in the subject line. And then you will get your question answered tomorrow. Okay? That's how it works. Otherwise, you're going to have to wait and wait and wait and wait and wait. Tammy loves the mug. I do too, Tammy. It's so cute. Because I want a mug that's going to tell me that I'm incredible, amazing, chosen, fierce, all of the above. And no, I'm not going to, Catherine, I'm not going to show you where that one is. No, I'm not. I'm just going to tease you. Terry, it's so good to see you. I'm glad you're here. Yes, all the ladies in the house. So much fun. We are in the midst of Be Strong, Get Strong, or Get Strong, Be Strong. I don't care how you put it together. Who's doing it? Who's like, I want to see some muscles, ladies. Throw it down. Throw them down. I want to see your muscles if you're doing this. I just went and did a core exercise. Well, I'm doing my own thing. I've got stacks of all my exercise. Just did my core. And I'm going to let you know I nailed the side plank. It's been a while. Side planks are hard. Go try them. No. And I can hold just a regular plank now for 1.5 minutes. Bam, bam. Getting stronger is so exhilarating because it tells you it's not about getting older. It's about making a decision to get stronger, right? Pinky's up for that. I want that to be done. I want that to be done. That's what I say to you. So check it out. All of this stuff is happening. And then we have Hot Melt Happy Hour happening right after the show, right at 2 p.m. Eastern today in the Hot Melt Sprint group. Now, we are going to move it to evening, but not tonight. You know why? Because tonight is our food addiction webinar, and we have hundreds of people signed up. I get it. Food addiction is real, and I'm going to take you through all of it. There are so many pieces and sides to food addiction. I'm going to share my own journey with you because you know what? Surprise! Been there, done that, got several t-shirts. And this is an important webinar because you know what? It might be the missing piece to your puzzle. It might be the part that you haven't yet confronted, and it might be a tough thing to go through. Why don't you join me? Why don't you do that? savingdinner.com/freedom, because this is about freedom from the foods that held you hostage. You got to check it out. And even if you can't make it tonight, sign up anyway. We'll send you the replay, but it's going to be good. It's going to be good. And, you know, everybody cries. It's just a lot. So check it out. savingdinner.com/freedom. Go get signed up for it because we're going to do some things. Hey, Fawn, you're following Body Groove for your fitness. That's so good. That's so good. That's fabulous. That works. Hi, Cheryl. Good to see you. You know what? We do what we need to do for our fitness. It's just a matter of getting it all together. And, you know, for the Peloton app, they allow you to stack your classes and they do things for as little as 10 minutes or whatever. So it's easy to get through and check the box, check the box, check the box, rather than doing a whole hour class. I'm telling you, I don't know. It plays better to my whole psychology and it makes me do it. So I love that. Anyway, you know, do your thing. The whole point is functional fitness is the deal. Being fit is the deal because when we're fit, we feel better. And when we feel better, body hormones and all of that. And that's what we're talking about today. Because my whole thing about, you know, every once in a while I'll get a DM or an email or something from somebody who's really in a dark place. And even when I offer some different ideas on maybe you should look at this and maybe you should look at that, I get the things back, yeah, but. And so my thought is, what if the light were easier than the darkness? What if it was? What if we just didn't know about it? And, you know, it's interesting because you've heard this, I'm sure you've heard this before, and this is going to be funny, that a smile, it takes less muscles to smile than it does to frown. That's not true, by the way. Isn't that sad? But they show that it takes about 12 muscles to smile and as little as 6 to frown, maybe 6 to 11, but still less muscles. But you know what that shows me? That shows me one is high vibration. It requires more of, it has more energy there, and one's really low vibe, real just down there, just sad, just sad. So we don't want to be in that sad place. We want to be in the glad place. You know, we want to be like Pollyanna, always looking for the rainbow, always looking for the sunshiny thing, and not to the point of where we're just oblivious to the fact of, you know, what's going on, like strolling through nuclear waste and saying, hey, everything's great. This is Chernobyl. You know, what do you want? It's not that. It is that we need to be in the place of making decisions about what we choose to think about, what we choose to bring about, because there's this thing called the amygdala in the brain. You ever hear about it? Oh, at least 800 times for me. This is the whole thing though. There is the amygdala is the risk part of your brain. It's the part of your brain that says not risky, don't change, stay just like this. So if we come from places of childhoods where everything was stressful, traumatic, or just down in the dumps, and this is what it's known, that sadness and being very pessimistic is just part of our program. We've got to consciously make a decision that that's just something we don't want to do anymore. And we have to fight our amygdala for just a minute, by the way, just a minute, to say, you know, no, I'm going to switch some of these things out. And you know all the techniques. I've talked about this 100,000 times, or close to it anyway. But you know what psychologists say? That we actually get addicted to the bad stuff. It's like food, you know, it's food. Speaking of food addiction, it's like getting addicted. We get addicted to that negative stuff. We get addicted to the negativity because it's comfortable. It's what we know. And that's what our amygdala does. It's just making sure that you're staying right in your corner, right in your place. Don't move out of your lane. Be negative, be this and be that. You know what? It's unfreaking necessary. Because once we recognize that this is what the heck is going on, we have the ability, just like a light switch, to flip the switch and to choose the lightness. Not the darkness, but to choose the lightness. So we know that we're going to be fighting the amygdala, but we have to remember, yes, it is there's this moment of struggle. It's this moment of struggle. It's like arm wrestling, your amygdala, and you've got it and you're shaking and you're both right in here. But if you believe you've got the power to push through it, you're going to do it. You're going to win that. Now, of course, I say this with a great big huge disclaimer. If you've been in a really dark place for a really dark time, please go see a doctor. Please go get checked out, because you could have low thyroid, you could have all kinds of things going on, and doctors are there to help correct that. But I'm just talking about getting in a funk. I'm talking about noticing patterns in your life where it's just choosing to not seeing the glass as half empty instead of half full. I'm talking about a decision on what it is that we choose and what track we choose to run our lives in. So, there's a lot of circumstances, obviously, that warrant this 100%ness of needing to go see the doctor, 100%. But there's also a lot of stuff that warrants just making a quick change, flicking a switch and saying, what I've been doing is this. This is a lifelong habit, or this is something that I've noticed in my life. This is something that I've seen in my journal. These are things that I always look for excuses on why that's not going to work for me. When we see this, we have the ability to flip the switch. Elizabeth, I am hypothyroid, Hashimoto's, and it was in a big bad way. Send me a question and I'll go through what I did and how to help you. I can help you. Okay? Send it in to support@savingnditter.com and question for Leanne on Friday. I will help. Anybody has to stay in the place of feeling blue and awful. Yeah, and you're right, Elizabeth. It's totally, when we're aware of this is what our thing is, this is where our track is, this is what we're thinking about, we can at any point say, is this really what I want in my life? Because what we think about is going to be a direct reflection of what's coming into our life. And again, because we have this reticular activating system, we're going to start seeking evidence to support our misery. You got me on that one? Evidence to support our misery, so we can say, see, I told you nothing ever went my way. I told you it's because of this, that, and the other thing. And it's not excuses. This is just my lot in life. But if we switch out that thinking and start thinking, what if I could flick the switch? What if I could look for the good? What if I could bring in the good, because that's the evidence that I'm looking for to support the life that I want? What if? I'm going to say, I double dog dare you, pinkies up on that one, because that shift in attitude oftentimes is going to bring more fruit than you ever imagined, because most people don't go there. Most people think, oh, this is just the way I am. That's just how I'm wired. Everybody in my family's like that. And, we don't have genetic dispositions to being sourpusses. We don't. We have genetic connections with our family, and this is the garbage that went on in our family. We can admit that, so what? But if we want a dynamic life, if we want vibrancy, if we want all these things, then there's got to be some light switches going off in our head. This is Lynn, right? She's got her pinkies up on it. This is what we do. So here's what I want. I've got 7 things for you to do on what to do just to get started on this whole thing, especially if you see, yeah, that's me. I'm living in the dark. Because I'm telling you, it's so much easier to get around in the light, isn't it? In the dark, you're stubbing your toe. In the dark, you don't know what's ahead of you. In the dark, it's fearful. But in the light, you open up your eyes and you see and you look all around you. It's sure not the boogeyman that you thought was there. There's nothing living under your bed. There's nothing in your closet. Everything's safe. You're safe. And you can choose this just by choosing to flick on the switch. So number 1, you got to start, though, with where you are. Where are you? How do you feel? Do you ever ask yourself that question? I think it's a question we don't ask ourselves. We just kind of go through the motions of, having this negative conversation continually on this horrible loop in our heads. But what if we checked in with ourselves? What if we said, how do I feel? And then maybe say, I'm feeling a little sad. Why? And that's where we start on that whole why trajectory. We've talked about that, the why framework. Why do I feel sad? Why is this going on? What is happening? Why? Noreen, everything. We are praying, we are praying, we are praying for your daughter. You know, where does my faith come from? Where does my heart land? What feels good? What feels good in my life? There's nothing wrong with feeling good, you know. We think that we need to leave these lives of just like everything is just awful and horrible, but we don't. We don't. We can look for the sunshine. We can look for the, you know, when we have a very big soggy day today. But you know what? I looked out the window and I said, it's going to be a beautiful day today, because the weather is not contingent on what kind of day my day is going to be. And the rest of your life doesn't have to be contingent on your husband saying something, your kids back talking, whatever. You don't have to absorb that. You just don't. You just make a decision that you are going to check in with yourself. You're going to feel the feels. That's number 2. You're going to feel the feels, but you're not going to ingest them. You're not going to imbibe them. You're not going to absorb them and have them be the whole, you know, your GPS for the day. It doesn't have to be. Be like a duck. Let it go off of your back and be enough. That's enough. We're enough. We have enough of that. You know, we can take things that we need to pray about and we send them up as an offering. We have things in our lives, whatever is going on, there are things that we can do, of course. But our feelings can't lead us around by the nose, because if they do, then we are nothing more than a pawn to our feelings. We're not in control. Our feelings are. That's a big deal. That's a huge deal. So I say feel the feels and also write them down, because that helps us sometimes to sort it out. Remember we talked about the jumble? We all have a jumble inside. And I see, when I think of my mind sometimes, I remember when Marla and I, the side story, Marla and I were on the road, we were going somewhere, and I had my earrings, a couple of necklaces, and maybe even, I don't know, a bracelet or something. And they were all jumbled up together. And I handled it I said, I can't figure it out. And Marla said, oh, I love this. She does. And she just took it all apart, just boom, 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 like that. And that's what it is sometimes for us with the jumble. That's why other people are so important. When we have someone we can confide in and just say, you know, everything's just a jumble. Sometimes they can help us to sort them out and say, you know what? That's a necklace. That's a bracelet. These are your earrings. You know, in a loving way. Not in a way that's judgmental, but just in that kind of a way. That's so important. So the other thing is, number 3 is smile. Do you know why? When you smile and you make that conscious effort to smile, even if you're faking it, you get to play with your body's chemistry. You get the endorphins going, you know, and if you can sneak in a hug somewhere with someone, you get the oxytocin going. And do you know what that is? Those are all the feel-good hormones. They flood your body. They make you feel better. And all of these things, just smiling and just making a determination that this is what you're going to do anyway, this is going to make a difference in your life. Number 4 is, if you're in this body's container, this big bodysuit of yours that you have, you know, whatever size it is, love it up. Love it for what it is and what it does. Love your body. And you know how you show your body that you love it? Not only do you say nice things to it in the mirror and stop putting yourself down and shaming yourself and all of that. That's number 1. But number 2 is you feed it the food that it needs. And you know what that food is. You do. You're sprinters, right? You know what that food is. And you move your body in gratitude for having one. Think about people who are paralyzed from the neck down. Think about people who don't have all their limbs. Think about that as we just sit there day after day, the blood pooling in our butts and in our feet. Get up, move out of gratitude. And as you're moving your body, say a prayer to God that you're so thankful and so grateful that you have the ability to move. It's been granted to you. Don't miss that opportunity. Number 5, you know, help others as you can, because you know, when we are reaching out across to others and holding a hand out, how can I help you? What can I do for you? How can I pray for you? How can I be there for you? Can I be an ear? Can I work a food bank? Can I go help somebody down the street fix their roof? I mean, what can we do? When we do that, when we're starting to help others, not only are we checking out from our darkness, we are becoming other-centric. We're checking out from, because when we live in the darkness, we're just focused on ourselves. That's all we can see because that's all that's around us is just us. When the light is on, we see other people. So what if that light switch is open? What are the possibilities there? Well, the possibilities are to help others, to be a part of a solution for someone else, to have purpose. We got to flick the switch though. We got to flick the switch. And as we do that, things become brighter. Number 6 is ask yourself, what if I just decided it's a good day? I just shared that with you. Just decide it's a good day. It's a good day in the neighborhood. And yeah, maybe everything's not perfect, but if we live by the guideline of excellence over perfect, we're going to make those things happen for ourselves. We have that control. There's where your control goes. When we are focused on things that we can't control, what happens? It doesn't work really well. So what you focus on expands. What you dwell on becomes your destiny. So focus on the things you can control. Focus on the fact that as you are helping somebody else, that's part of your purpose. And maybe it's not the unique part of your purpose of your life's calling, but it's doing something to activate that. It will help to bring in purpose. Number 7, can I just say, hang out with bright, shiny people. Hang out with the right people, the people who are saying, oh, you're doing this? I'm with you. I've got your back. I'm praying for you, Noreen. I love you. I'm going to love you up. I'm going to be there with you every step of the way. I'm your community. There's just nothing like that. We need that connection deeply. We need that heart-to-heart connection. We need to know someone's got our back and that we're also there on purpose, for purpose, to support and encourage others. When we do that, when we see that, there's a completion that we feel. There's a wholeness that we feel. There is a love that we feel from our community. Noreen, you're so loved. You're adored. Absolutely. You know that. You give so much in our community. And everybody who's here who's struggling, struggle is something that unfortunately we've all had to experience sometime in our lives. Crises come along, health things come along, people come along that are in our lives. Joanne, my sweet Joanne, who takes care of her dad selflessly. I think about women who've had children with all kinds of stuff that they've got to deal with. And I think about all the women who are doing things that are beyond what they think they can do, but they do it anyway. That's a light. That's a light going off. And when we are turning on the light, we are turning on other people's lives as well. That little ripple effect, it goes so far. Do you know what we're doing right now? All of this that's going out right now, this care and this love. And Rosemary's son, COVID pneumonia. We're praying for him, Rosemary. Of course we are. Are you kidding? This is what this community does. That's how we love each other up. We hold together as a community, a tight community. And as we do it, as we lift that up, lift us everybody up, we become the rising tide. We become the lifters of all the boats. We are those women, A wise woman straightens another woman's crown without ever telling anybody else that it's out of whack. A wise woman doesn't talk about other women behind their backs. They lift them up. A wise woman looks to her God, to her friends, to her family, to herself, with love and in love. That's what we do. And we can't do that in the darkness. It's only done in the light. It's only done in the light. So do me a favor, will you? Hang out with the bright and shiny people. Be with those people. Plug in. Tell them your needs. Be an encouragement as well. And turn around and scratch someone else's back. Turn around and be the light for them. We all have that opportunity whenever we make the decision to do so. And I'm just going to bet, just for a minute, it's going to get you out of your funk. It's going to make you feel better. And as you start to get rid of the thoughts that no longer serve you and start picking up the ones that feel good, things are going to change dramatically. Talk about a transformation. That's what's happening. When you're inside transformed, you will be outside transformed. Everything happens for a reason. That's what we hear. But you know what happens for a reason? This time right now, this time in this place, getting together, that was on purpose. That's not a coincidence, I don't believe. And if you needed to share this message with somebody who needs to hear it, please do that. Because this is how we lift others up and we become people who are doing the good work that the Lord has given us to do. This is good work. And this is what we need to be doing. Pinkies up. I love you. I care about you. You know that. And I appreciate you. Thank you for everything that you have done for our community, that you've done for Saving Dinner, and that you have, you know what? You light me up. And I so appreciate it. Thank you for that. I hope I'm going to see you tonight. savingdinner.com/freedom to go see the food addiction webinar. I want you there. Marguerite, pinkies up to you. And pinkies up to the rest of you. Peace be with you. I'll see you tonight. Bye.
Thanks for watching. You can find us on YouTube on the Saving Dinner channel or on the Saving Dinner Facebook page. Check back daily for new episodes, Monday to Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern. If you missed the live show, you can watch the replay. Until next time, pinkies up.